Gamers, it's finally time. Time for the day of my birth. I noticed none of you got that pony I asked for. There's a ravenous ocelot in your left lung. So every year on my birthday, I talk about my favorite versions of an animal in fiction. Frogs on the docket for a long time, but I'm finally getting around to it now. You know how it works, I don't gotta explain it, or maybe you don't know how it works. It's been a year or so since I've done a normal top list. Anyways, frogs, one of my favorite animals. Got a lot of cool representation in fiction. I'm gonna talk about 10. Happy birthday to me. There's still time for that pony. Let's go! So before we talk about the top 10, I'm going to talk about today's sponsor, Raycon Shadow Legends. Make sure you go to today's sponsor link in the description. You know, I love murder. It's great. We need more people to murder each other. Like how Mr. Frog does. Listen, I could break down the deep emotional lore of the Mr. Frog show, but its stunning brilliance is simply too much for this video to attempt to explain. What I'm trying to say is vor. You know, some people may see Mr. Frog as a racist, vain murderer, but I see him as someone who's willing to speak his mind. He stands up to cruel executives who put profits over creativity. He's a hero we all need now. If you don't think so, you're also a doo-doo head. Wait, why didn't you censor that, but you censored... Kirby is a mainstay on these lists, so of course I had to throw in a Kirby frog. The most obvious is Pirate. But Pirate sucks, so I'm going to look at this random frog from the anime. The Demon Frog seems like he should be one of the most useless creatures in Deity's arsenal, but in reality, he might be one of the most deadly. Comes the closest to beating Kirby in this episode, and remains one of the very few monsters not to be defeated. Why? Because frogs and Kirby are the two things I respect in life, and they have a mutual truce to never attack each other. By two brain cells. The way he works is he possesses his opponent and causes them to become evil. This gives us both Demon Kirby, who's become a meme and got a reference in the games, and the first appearance of Buff Deity. This frog is responsible for the most iconic parts of the anime, and for that, he's a good silly. The best part about my birthday is that I'm allowed to break any rule I want, and no one get mad at me. It's why my name does not appear in any historical documents of World War II. So hey, speaking of war, wouldn't it be so quirky if we named 4 good guys out of some of the worst people in history? Well, that's the Punk Frogs, the amphibian counterparts to the Ninja Turtles. In the original show, the Shredder founded the group and named it after his favorite people: Rasputin, Genghis Khan, Napoleon, and Attila. He's not a Yerby. He then makes them fight the turtles in a super epic awesome fight scene. Then they realize that the guy covered in knives who's working with a sentient brain and leads an army of robot ninjas might be evil, and teams up with the turtles. Why do I like these guys? I don't know. They're silly. In the 2012 show, they make them a group of extremists who intend to turn all humans into frogs. They are the good guys. Also, in this one, Napoleon is voiced by Jon Heder. I love and hate that. Not all frogs need to be some big threat to the heroes, or racist. They can just be a little guy. In Over the Garden Wall, Greg carries around a frog with him for the whole show. What narrative purpose does the frog have? Well, Greg has no idea what to name it, constantly shuffling through names, until landing on Jason Funderburker. Now to explain the meaning, I'm going to have to throw up a spoiler tag. You should definitely watch it around Halloween. Good thing it's available on Max, oh. So Jason is the kid Wirt's crush is seemingly with. He named the frog that to... Wait, why am I explaining this to you? You've seen the show since you didn't skip the spoiler tag. Why should I tell you things you already knew? Frick you, you stupid dumb idiot. I hate you. You know, for my birthday, I'm wishing that you die! Also, the frog is like a Nipton god or something, I don't know. So let's get this out of the way right now. Despite his name, Slippy is a frog. He's green, he's smooth. This is a Squidward as an octopus situation. So to tie this back to my birthday, time has changed in the last decade or so. I remember a time when you couldn't mention Slippy without immediately following it up with brutally murdering him. Nowadays, well, I'd love to say people are more positive on him, but in truth, Slippy has fallen by the wayside, with the only thing people talk about in regards to Star Fox is how we'll never get another game. Or furries. That does work in Slippy's favor, since he's now out of the crosshairs. The whole joke is that he's useless. He's the whole reason the crew are even the way they are, as he made all the equipment that they use. Slippy is just a nice guy. Yeah, he's a bit of a frick up, but so am I. And you all still love me. You still love me, right? You still love me, right, Susan? Slippy is also canonically the only character in the crew to have fricked. This guy is smashing super hot chicks, And basically, you're freaking stupid. Hello, my baby! Hello, my honey! Listen, I grew up with Looney Tunes, so I had to have loved Michigan J. For a time, he was pushed as the mascot, but of course that went to Bugs and Daffy. Michigan is kind of silent now. I've seen so many redraws of his dance, so I'm glad that he's still around somehow. He's funny. I like him. This is gonna be a short video. I had this whole big obsession with My Hero Academia. This was a show that got me into anime. I was obsessed with it during time. Nowadays, I kind of fell off of it. I still haven't seen the newest season. And the manga is doing weird stuff like killing off Bakugo only to immediately bring him back, queer baiting, but it's with Mineta so no one cares. But through it all, I'll always love Tsuyu. She feels like a character made for me. She green, she frog, she make my heart larg. There really isn't much separating her from the rest of Class 1A in terms of personality. She's a bit more cautious than the rest and very sweet. But again, frog. That's what matters to me. I didn't make a video on top 10 dudes with tails now, did I? See, that's why Tsuyu is cool. She's a frog. I like frogs. Frog. So if you know me, or if you didn't know me, hi, I'm Stripe, welcome to my video, you knew Amphibia was coming sooner or later. With an entire world of frogs to pick from, I could go so many ways, but it wouldn't be right to pick anyone besides Sprig. Sprig is a silly little guy who runs into a species unknown to him and immediately takes it home. Also, when he does it, it leads to grand adventures and stopping two evil regimes. But when I do it, I'm seen as a mistake, the reason we have to bury a body. For a show about frogs, no one really seems to care about anything that isn't the girls, which is sad, since the amphibians are all great characters, and Sprig is no exception. He's not just comedic relief. Sprig is more or less Ant's brother in the series, and the bonds they share are deeper than any human and frog could be. Ending here, since I don't want to go into spoilers, for the at least 3 people I've constantly harassed to finally watch this freaking show. It's refreshing to have a frog that isn't green on here, though. Pokemon's got a lot of frogs. Not a bad problem to have, to be fair. And I love all the Froggos. Croagunk holds a special place in my heart as someone who started on Gen 4. The Bulbasaur line has slowly but surely become my favorite Gen 1 starter. Seismitoad is very underrated, and I love how derpy he looks. Politoed is super cute. I should really get a plushie of him. And Bellibolt exists, but I can't pick anyone besides Greninja. Yes, he's the most popular monster in the series, according to some polls, but I can't argue with it. I love Greninja. Ninjas. Epic. Frogs. Radical. Water. Groovy. The color blue. Inferior to green, but hey, he's a runner-up for a reason. I remember back when Gen 6 was being revealed, everyone shunned Froakie for being ugly in favor of Fennekin, only to feel so vindicated when I stuck up for the funny frog fellow when he evolved into the greatest starter ever, and Fennekin became what's seemingly the only canine furries don't obsess over. Plus I had him as a dark horse hope for Smash, over the far more suggested Chestnut Gen 5 rep for Hawlucha, and when he did actually get revealed, Vindication! Also, my friend Cyanide uses him as his icon. So number 2 goes to Palpitoad. This video feels shorter than usual. It's a gift to myself after making like 50 billion 30-minute videos this year. Anyways, these are honorable mentions. All frogs are honorable, just like these are more honorable than the other ones. Frog and Toad. I really love these books, but it feels weird to have him and not Toad. Nicky Flipper. This film is the only good movie to ever exist, and all others are just pale imitations. The Frog. He's funny, but I refuse to give any special attention to the French. Any of the incursions from Ben 10. A whole race of frogs? I for one embrace our flippant overlords. Throg. Don't got a lot of experience with him, but like, God Frog? Pretty raw. Frogger. One of my favorite arcade games. Never will get used to his redesigns though. The Big Head Family. A great big happy family of cheaters, attempted murderers, and cartoonists. The most evil of all. Finally, King Harold. I kinda hate this twist. It heavily implies that frogs are ugly, and that should be punishable by death. Listen, this was a foregone conclusion. You knew who number 1 was before you even clicked on this.
It's the Muppet Show with tonight's guest star, Mr. Joel Grey.
I don't really know what to add here. Hopefully I'll think of something when I hit 1,000 subs in 17 years and make top 30 favorite characters. For now though, Kermit might be the reason I even love frogs so much. He'll always be a part of my life. From watching any old Muppet Show episode I could find, to loving the Muppet Theme Park Show, to all the various movies, I could and still can sing more Muppet songs than I really should be able to memorize with my now deteriorating adult brain. I still break into yeah every time I'm happy. I am also a silly little lad. Looking at it, Kermit is a kind of inconsistent character. In some stuff, he's just flat out the nicest guy you ever meet. Other he's a stressed out, on edge, only sane member of the cast of Psychos. And other times he's dead. He's just flat out cannot be dead. No matter what he is though, always love this little guy. It's not easy being green. Trust me, I would know. But it's easy being the best frog in all of fiction. And that's another birthday over. I will see you next year when I do top 10 dogs in fiction. Assuming what happened last year didn't happen again, where I made top 10 cats, and then my cat died, so I bumped up in the schedule, which I would do the same thing if my dog died when I was writing that. The year after that, I would probably do top 10 favorite politicians.